Mary and Griff, that the hardest part of this is speaking as if the globe is watching, but there are no people watching right now. We're recognizing as well that people will watch retrospectively as well. So, Drew, welcome. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Yeah, almost there, almost done with all of the jobs and everything. So, intend to be relaxing from this point forward.
Okay.
Last duty of the evening, and I will be putting my feet up somewhere next to that fluffy dog that's hiding over my shoulder there.
There's the dog's still around there.
She's still not allowed on the couch, though. Not allowed.
And Griff and Mary, you guys well, hey?
Yeah, we're good.
You're still super dark there, man. It's like a tableau.
Our light went out.
We had our little clip on here, and it just instantly went out of batteries. So
we might run get another one in a second.
Yeah, maybe during the break.
This wouldn't be Soul Sessions if everything worked.
No, that's not how we operate.
We are keeping our fingers crossed for Lawrence Graham to join us. That was what was advertised as Bill. Lawrence was on, but we are having huge connection issues. And just a few minutes before we've gone live on air, we were struggling with audio, couldn't quite get Lawrence onto Restream. So we're hoping that he comes back in and that the stream is good, and we can ask Lawrence some questions and he can play some songs for us. But I thought to get us started, just to turn to scripture, one that comes up regularly in my Christian meditation app that I use. Comes from Ephesians chapter 1, verse 17 to 18, and says, "Brothers and sisters, may the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, give you a spirit of wisdom and revelation, resulting in knowledge of him. May the eyes of your hearts be enlightened, that you may know what is the hope that belongs to his call." I particularly like that phrase, "may the eyes of your hearts be enlightened." And I think it's been the dream or the desire of Soul Sessions to really enlighten the eyes of our hearts, to keep us hopeful in God and Christ and what God is doing in our time through upbeat song and yes, and I think we've largely achieved that when we've managed to go on air without interruption. And there we have a light. Thank you. Kicking it old school with that light there. But what's actually also intriguing about Soul Sessions is I do get the sense that we've been fraying more and more at the edges as the weeks have passed, less and less preparations being done. Nobody in particular would I say is guilty of this, but Drew, I don't know if you want to...
Oh yes, we've finally reached zero preparation. It can only get better from here on in.
So if you're asking us what Drew will be playing, I have very little idea other than the opening number. Not even Drew knows. Apparently he's just going to be flipping a book open, playing whatever is in front of him.
We've been preparing for this our entire lives.
Two ends of the spectrum. But we do know that Drew is responsible and has indeed prepped for the opening number, which is In the Bleak Midwinter. So Drew, we're going to hand it over to you to lead us in a rendition of that song. And you want to take it away.
Thank you, Andrew. Yes, by preparation, I opened Mission Praise up to number 337. This is one of my favorites, so I'm afraid I won't do it justice, but maybe just the first and last verse. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind may blow, earth hard as iron, water like a stone, snow in the bleak midwinter, long ago. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would give a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. What can I give him? give my heart.
Fantastic, Drew. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We are going to move straight into to what must be one of the top 10 Christmas hymns, our very own Wesleyan hymn, "Hark the Herald Angels Sing." So, Mary and Griff, do you want to take us through all verses of this and really give it a good song for us?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do the first verse and then.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to our newborn King. Christ my highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time, behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh the Godhead see, hail incarnate deity, pleased as man with us to dwell. Jesus our Emmanuel, hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hail the heaven-born Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness. Light and life to all he brings, risen with healing in his wings. Mild he lays his glory by, born that we no more may die, born to raise each child of earth, born to give a second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Thank you. It would be nothing without the Griff dramatic flourish at the end there. Griff,
I almost thought about giving it the bing.
Oh.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
I kept it classy though.
You did indeed. Now Lawrence is back in the studio. I'm going to bring him in and see if we've got audio. Keep our fingers crossed. Hi, Lawrence. Lawrence, can you hear us? I just think we've got a very, very bad signal going through. Oh, goodness. Yeah. This is... Drew, Griff, maybe you guys can't hear. Can you hear anything your side? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to have to leave it at that. Well, while we try to sort that out, I had, Lawrence was going to play a couple of songs for us. The one was, I think, the Calypso Carol. Is somebody able to? We did that on Sunday, didn't we? Didn't we do the Calypso Carol on Sunday? Drew, are you able to do the Calypso Carol for us?
By we you mean yes, me in my box room. Yes, there was shaky eggs and there were sleigh bells involved. And in case anyone was worrying, I use these quite a lot at this time of year. In case anyone was wondering, how much is too much when it comes to sleigh bells, the answer is there is no too much when it comes to potatoes. That just adds to it. It adds to absolutely.
We all have our preferences, what we consider good taste and bad taste. And I know we had discussed doing Fairy Tale of New York, the Pogues, which I know was roundly like kind of castigated. And then I thought about the lyrics afterwards. Thought, that really wouldn't be appropriate. But I'll tell you, I did a memorial service today where they played Fairy Tale of New York as the coffin was brought into the church. Original lyrics. So the times they are changing, as they say. That was a first to me. But anyway, that conversation not really going anywhere. So.
I see him lying ready to go right here.
Okay. I'm going to stop talking for a while and leave it to Drew to take it away.
See him lying on a bed of straw, a drafty stable with an open door. Mary cradling the babe she bore, the Prince of Glory is his name. Oh, now carry me to Bethlehem to see the Lord appear to men, just as poor as was the stable then, the Prince of Glory when he came. Mine are riches from your poverty, from your innocence eternity. Mine forgiveness by your death for me, a child of sorrow for my joy. Oh, now carry me to Bethlehem to see the Lord appear to men, just as poor as was the stable then, the Prince of Glory when he came.
Dude, that's fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I think what we'll do, let's bring Mary and Griff back in. We are still silhouetted somewhat. They really are doing a kind of watch night, dark kind of. They've really taken in the whole notion of in the bleak midwinter. They're keeping it dark. There is the season of despair more than hope. But
Sorry, folks, I'm going to have to run. I can hear something upstairs. There's an awful noise happening up in the roof. I better go and check it out. Bear with me.
Okay. We're going to keep the camera on that room. Keep us posted, Drew. Keep us posted. While Drew is off exploring the attic of his home, Griff, Mary, what's I'm going to throw some of the questions I'm going to ask. I was going to give to Lawrence your way. What part of the Christmas message is kind of resonating with you this year, considering how odd like this year has been?
Go ahead.
I was thinking since Ben did the Wacht auf, the sleepers awake bit, I've been thinking about that a lot. He comes like a thief in the night. Prepare the way, and so that's meant silly things like leaving our Christmas lights on all night, but it's also meant being ready like never before. I want him now. He can't come soon enough. So that's given me hope and given me something to lean on.
Okay. And Mary, for yourself?
I mean, hope for sure, but I think it has really brought home that we're waiting. We're all forced to wait, and vaccinations have started in the U.S. and that gives us all hope. But just in general, this we're all waiting together, I think, and yeah.
What was kind of your kind of gut response to the fact that like immediately after Christmas we'll be into further restrictions, and then restrictions into the new year that will be even tightening on top of that. Are you now just kind of rolling with the punches with this stuff? How's it?
No, I took it a little harder than I thought. I thought I would roll with the punches. I, had sort of heard rumors that was going to happen. I didn't think it would bother me that much, and it just, it was a little deflating. And it's certainly, I've been talking to different people that are they're more on their own than we are. I mean, the four of us are here together in our house and everything, but I've talked to a lot of people that are on their own, and it's just, it's really kind of gut wrenching, I think. So, yeah.
Mary, you had mentioned earlier about playing a song that I'm not familiar with, but those are some of the best songs. And you'd spoken, I think it's called "The River" by Joni Mitchell. Is that right?
It's just River.
Is it just River? Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that song? I did take a gander at the lyrics, and it seems in true Joni Mitchell style to carry a kind of depth and a weightiness and an intensity of feeling. Is there any particular resonance for you with the song?
No, I mean, I like Joni Mitchell a lot, and that the album Blue is a favorite. So, and this is on that album. But no, it's a good Christmas song, but it is kind of sad. But yeah, it's kind of got a nostalgic thing. It's coming on Christmas, and so you have all of the scenery of Christmas, but then she's talking about a relationship that has fallen apart, and so she wishes she had a river that she could skate away on. So it's kind of escapist, I guess, but yeah, it's a beautiful song. So
I know, I'm not familiar with Joni Mitchell. I mean, obviously know of her. I haven't listened to a lot of her. I know in the movie Love Actually, as silly a movie as it is, there is that moment where the actress Emma Thompson realizes that her kind of partner's been unfaithful to her, and a Joni Mitchell song is playing there. Is this the song, or is that another song?
I don't know. I've seen that movie a couple of times, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
Not one that's
I'll certainly ring a bell for me if it's the same song, but without talking too much about something that we should be listening to. Mary Griff, I'm going to leave it to with River by Joni Mitchell.
Do I start now?
Yeah. Can you see it okay?
Yeah, can you move the pages? Like if I'm on this side, is that okay?
Yeah, it'll be all right.
It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees and putting up reindeer, singing songs of joy and peace. I wish I had a river I could skate away on.
It don't snow here, stays pretty green. I'm gonna make a lot of money, then I'm gonna quit this crazy scene. I wish I had a river I could skate away on.
I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on.
I'm so hard to handle, I'm selfish and I'm sad. Now I've gone and lost the best baby that I ever had. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on.
I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river
I could skate
Beautiful, Mary Griff. Thank you so much. Wasn't the same song as it turns out, but deeply, deeply moving. And I hope you saw there that Liz really appreciates that and loves that song. The good news is we do have Lawrence in the studio, and the image is far more active than the one that has been going before. So I'm going to bring Lawrence in. Lawrence, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
But the only thing is I'm using my phone. I don't know whether the issue was, I mean, my laptop apparently is on the internet, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm using the phone, and which means I can't really see you guys very well because there's something covering the screen.
It's really not a problem, Lawrence. So the important thing is we can see you absolutely perfectly. So
yeah, the whole chat was, yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry, I just probably wobbled myself completely there. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, Lawrence, and yourself?
Yeah, grand, thanks, grand.
Good. It's so good having you on the show. I really thought there for a second that it wasn't going to work out because the link had just dropped. So I'm so glad. When I saw you come back on.
So did I, and then I just thought, let me just try the phone. And as I say that, let me just plug the phone in. It's not exactly replete. The phone is not exactly replete with battery.
Lawrence, it's almost certainly not your fault. This is the Soul Sessions curse. We have yet to have one of these that has gone off according to plan. So.
No, I don't know. I think my laptop might have something to do. I'm not sure. Anyway, so there you go. We always blame the computers anyway. Absolutely. Well, Lawrence, I think there's a lot of enthusiasm for you being on the show on the Soul Sessions tonight. So Lucy just saying there that it's great to see you. And I thought while we have you on here, if we could just ask you a little bit about, the strangest of years. How has your 2020 been, Lawrence? Well, like for everybody else, it's been different, but probably much the same as everybody else's. I as corp folk will remember, I often end up traveling quite a bit, either within Ireland or indeed across the world because of the World Mission Partnership work that I do. But I haven't been any of that. It's been for a long time. It was 2 kilometers from the house and so on. And I mean, I was funny. I was joking during the spring lockdown. The only other time I can remember being grounded, and it was only for 2 weeks, but being within 1 kilometer of the house was during and after a coup d'etat in Haiti. So that was the only other time that I would have been 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, my car came due a service a couple of weeks ago because it had been a year since the last service. That has never ever happened to me before. Yeah. I've always had 2 or 3 services. The mileage always comes up long before the 1 year. Anyway, so different year, but so that's the same for everybody else. But I'm not complaining. We're well. We're safe. The year's been fine, and it's okay.
Yeah, brilliant. And Lawrence, just as like a kind of follow-on question, what's helped you to cope through 2020? Where we've been drawing strength for the journey?
Well, I think the ultimate answer to that question is that in a time of huge uncertainty, we as Hebrews puts it, we have this hope as an anchor for the soul. In times of uncertainty, we have a certainty in Christ that just is certain. Yeah. And I think one of the things about this year is that nobody's taken life for granted this year. But in point of fact, life was just as uncertain this time last year as it is now. But we didn't realize it. We forget that. In normal times, we forget that life is uncertain. We forget that, as Randy Stonehill used to say long ago, that gospel singer, I'm going to celebrate this heartbeat because it might just be my last. Every day is a gift from the Lord on high, and they all go by so fast. Yeah.
That's I hadn't thought about it like that. That the season of COVID has kind of revealed our vulnerability rather than kind of advanced it. It's always kind of been there, but we weren't thinking about it before. Yeah.
No, that's right. There's nothing different about it. I mean, we could still breathe our last, nothing to do with COVID.
Yes. Yeah. But Lawrence, before we do that, we are thrilled not only to have you in conversation, but also that you're going to be playing a couple of songs for us. Are you still happy to lead us with a song or two?
I'm just not sure how thrilled you are. I mean, I'm not much of a singer. But, let me have a go. All right, let's try.
I tell you, can we, in your absence, Drew, who's disappeared, and we'll have to be dealing with that a little bit later on. But he took us through Calypso Carol. But the one that you put through that I'd completely forgotten about, and then when I saw it, I was like, of course, that's a great kind of like lift me up kind of song. The song to Jingle Bells.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it, and I would have sung it. I think I maybe found it on the internet when I was in Cork. I mean, I remember singing it in Ardfallon. In fact, I remember one time playing it up in the pulpit with Paul Maxwell, and I because I was playing guitar, wasn't really watching the words, and it came to the chorus and completely forgot myself and belted out Jingle Bells. Because the tune is so ingrained.
Easily forgiven with that song. But we're also going to try something different here, Lawrence. We're going to try and get the words up as well, so that people at home can sing.
Yeah, dude, please drown me out. You better sing yourself than listen to me sing.
So I'm gonna boot myself and Griffin Mary off and try to get the words going on the screen alongside you.
So when will I start? When I see the words, just.
I think just Lawrence, go for it, and I'll just flip.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bring it on now. And
Okay.
This is all the test.
There you go.
Okay.
No, that's the Calypso Carol.
Sorry. Okay, let me just flip ahead. There is that the one there.
There you go. That's it. Okay. Many years ago, in a stable far away, Christ the Lord was born. What a joyful day! Ha ha ha! Singing filled the air. Glory shone around. Shepherds on the hillside were astonished by the sound. Oh, have no fear! Have you heard? Christ is born today. Go and see him lying there in a manger filled with hay. Hey, then the sky came alive, angels everywhere, singing hymns of joyful praise to the God who sent them there. On to Bethlehem in a most exciting way, shepherds went to see Christ the Lord that day, hallelujah. When they saw him there, they were filled with joy. On their knees they worshipped him, God's special baby boy. Oh, have no fear, have you heard? Christ is born today. Go and see him lying there in a manger filled with hay. Hey, then the sky came alive, angels everywhere, singing hymns of joyful praise to the God who sent them there.
Lawrence, thank you so much for getting a round of applause there. Really fantastic. Thank you so much for leading us in that song, and for being brave enough to do it, because I couldn't do it. So thank you so much. Lawrence, I was thinking of questions that I'd love to ask you while you're on soul sessions, and the one that I think maybe might interest me more than most others, but I think actually would interest a lot of people. In light of COVID, what do you see, are the challenges facing the church now moving forward, kind of in the COVID season and post-COVID? What questions are being asked of us, and how do you see the church kind of winding its way forward through this?
Yeah, I think I'm not going to start with, I know you asked about challenges, but actually I want to start with a slightly more positive angle. I will come to challenges because there are many, but I think one of the challenges is, as this ends, whenever during this year, whatever, vaccine or whatever, one of my challenges is to hold on to the gains that COVID has brought the church. So, I mean, yes, there's losses. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the first challenge is to hold on to what COVID has given us, what we have gained through COVID. And by that, I mean, I'm just giving where I'm based at the moment as an example, Dublin Central Mission. We've a couple of real significant gains. One is that, of course, we're like everybody else, we've been forced online. And the way we've done our online thing is that we live stream or during the lockdown, it was recording. I used to put a sermon up on YouTube. People watched it at 11 o'clock, or what? I used to put up Saturday night. They watched it Saturday night, Sunday morning early, and then at 11 o'clock we had a Zoom gathering. So they'd watch the sermon, and then we just met on Zoom. I played guitar. We prayed. We just had a prayer meeting. We just had a time of sharing. Busted into great breakout groups as well to discuss the sermon. So suddenly we had two things which we hadn't had before. First of all, we had the YouTube, because we went for YouTube because it's it can be live if necessary, but also it's up there for the rest of the week. And a lot of our church, in fact, many of them most of them work shifts or work every other weekend and so on. So they could never be at church really godly people, but their work life just means they can't be at church every Sunday. And so suddenly there's an option for them every Sunday to get teaching, to get us. So, and what we found with the viewing figures was about a third of the people watched it live or watched it on Sunday morning. About another third, that doubled again during the following week. And then a third in the following weeks, by which time it was way over a previous Sunday morning congregation. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, the Zoom thing after the YouTube, suddenly we had interactive church. Suddenly it wasn't just a monologue. Suddenly we had people in small groups able to discuss the sermon as part of the service at a time of open. Instead of me just leading intercessions from the front, we just had a prayer meeting. I put up a screen shared of the list. So the two things on a Sunday morning that I want to hold on to, and that we all as a church want to hold on to, are that we still have a presence up online afterwards. So we've now installed some live stream stuff. We're still learning it. So now we live stream the service, and then it's up there on YouTube to watch when you're finished work, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. What we've been doing during the lockdown and up to now is having a fairly short service, because obviously that's what we have to have at the moment. And we now have the Zoom at 11:45. So I get down off the pulpit and open a Zoom call. And so we have the interactive piece there for all those that most of the people aren't at church, or even some are at church, but check in the Zoom call as well. And then also, because of our church, it's very midweek, very city centre, and midweek was hopeless because people living all over County Dublin and beyond. It's not a community church at all, really. It's a very different scenario. So it's hopeless trying to get midweek fellowships and so on. But within a week of lockdown, we had a flourishing midweek Bible study on Zoom. And that will. So those are the things. The first challenge is to preserve those wins. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, but there are other very real challenges, because I think if we'd had the first 3 months of lockdown and then we'd all got back in the summer, I think the church community would have been strengthened, because everybody missed it and longed for it and fought to keep it online. And then if we could have got back, they'd have appreciated all the more. But now, as it drags on, as this goes on, it's going to be at least a year of more or less online church, or certainly a year, if not more, since the whole church were together in the building. And that is going to have an impact. It's going to have an impact on community. Hope we can rebuild it. We will lose people, I think, but then we're gaining others online, and I think we've got to really milk that online thing as well. But also, as this goes on, we've got to in some way enable people who've maybe got used to online, or have maybe only signed up now because it's online. We have to look for ways the challenge will be for ways to build community with that more mixed group, because no longer will community just be showing up together. So that's a challenge that is ahead of us, and I don't have easy answers to that. And the big challenge even now, of course, we're back online only, but while we're online only, we're doing okay with the YouTube, and we can publicize that. We have the Zoom for the fellowship side of it, but the bit that we can't do, and it's very important in a city centre church, is just that open door on a Sunday morning. Just drift into we would have tourists drifting in, people drifting in for all kinds of reasons. That it's impossible to do that online.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I've waffled a bit there, but that's
no. It's really really helpful stuff, and it's tremendous. I mean, as you enter now into I mean, again, just so grateful to you. It is like a day away from Christmas, and when I was really a Hail Mary pass that I threw to you saying, Lawrence, is there any way you could be on Soul Sessions? And was thrilled to bits when you said you could. Christmas is a day away. Your Christmas message for this year, Lawrence, into your community. What's your? If you don't mind, I'm going to take notes because I haven't got anything for my Christmas message.
Okay, well, listen up. So, but the first part of the message, first little message is this 2 words. I was listening to something last week. It was a webinar or something, and somebody in describing the incarnation used the 2 words power abandoned. Power abandoned. And I just thought, we look at Belarus, where there was an election in the summer and the president refuses to go, and there's been weekly protests every Sunday and terrible brutality. And then, of course, we look at the absolute reluctance of the current incumbent of the White House to accept the result of to say, okay, I'm done. So power abandoned. We live in a world where people seek power, grab onto power, want to hold on to power. And yet the incarnation definition is power abandoned. That God in Christ abandoned ultimate power. So, that's what Philippians 2 is all about. Emptied himself, so that he could come to us, so that he could meet with us, so that he could, enable us to meet him personally. So that's the first sort of thing. The second thing, what I want to talk about in Christmas morning, we decided, as it happens, early on in December with the church council, we decided we were going to do Christmas morning on Zoom this year completely, not in the building. And the reason for that was Abbey Street is strange, unique maybe, in that in any year, in a normal year, the Christmas Day service is only about 1/3 of the number of people of an ordinary Sunday morning.
Okay.
Because there's no public transport. And many of our folk don't have cars, or they use the train or the bus. And so it really hammers. They can't get to church Christmas Day. So we knew that that's always the case. But this year, though, it's going to be lower again because a number of those that would have come in cars would be maybe vulnerable group and aren't going to come. So I thought, let's do the whole thing on Zoom. It's more inclusive. So as it turns out, on Christmas Day, I'm just going to do Zoom from beside our own Christmas tree, and everybody else will be beside in their own sitting room. And so it's with that in mind that a couple of months ago, I've been reading a book by a guy called Bailey. Is it Kenneth Bailey? I meant to look up his name. But he's a real. He lived for like 30 years or something in Lebanon, and he just knows Middle Eastern culture. But he's a Bible scholar as well, and so he and others. If any of you, I know in Cork a lot of people use the New International Version. If you look at the older one and then the newer one that came out about 6 or 7 years ago, that's more inclusive language. The older one says Luke chapter 2 verse 7 because there was no room for them at the inn. The new one says something about because they couldn't get a space in the guest room or something like that. The Greek is kataluma, you probably know that, and the kataluma was a guest room. And I kind of knew that part, but Bailey has opened up a whole new thing that I hadn't realized. More modern scholarship has started to compare the Christmas story with the way an ordinary house, an ordinary people's house was in the Middle East then, and actually still now, particularly in rural areas of the Middle East. And the setup was this. First of all, we have this image that Jesus was born sort of in a barn out the back of a hostelry, out the back of a pub, in this old cold barn, totally on their own, that there was nobody near them, etc. Well, first of all, hospitality is massive in the Middle East. Joseph was going to his own city. Even if he hadn't been there, his people were from there. And even if they'd been total strangers anyway, a young man and a pregnant, they would have been welcomed into a home. It just because otherwise the whole village would have been shamed. That it's just so. First of all, it was home, and then it says they replaced him in cloth, put him in a manger because there was no room in the kataluma in the guest room. So the scenario with these houses, apparently, the more modern scholarship has discovered that basically people lived. The house had 2 rooms essentially. The room at the back was very small. It was either at the back or upstairs was the kataluma. and that was the guest room for travelers and visitors, but it was very small. Then the main room was where everybody lived all their lives. And just at the front of the main room, as you come in at the front of it, there was an area, sometimes a couple of steps down, which is where the animals went at night in the winter. And of course, it wouldn't have been many animals, one cow, a couple of goats, 2 sheep, whatever, you know. And so they would have been brought in, and then there would have been a manger, like a cut out of the stone floor, or maybe a wooden one, in this area, just at the front of the main living room, and a step or 2 down. Of course, the animals would have generated heat. So, but we know, of course, Jesus wasn't born in the winter because the animals weren't in at night, because the shepherds were out with them, out on the hillside. So that place would have been empty. So by far the most likely scenario of Luke chapter 2 is that Jesus was born, as the Cataluma would have been full because there was lots of people traveling for the census, guests that got there before them. And anyway, it would have been very small. So the place with the most space was that space at the front, where the animals would be in the winter but aren't there now because it's summer, because they're out in the fields with the shepherds. And surrounded by family or by people they knew. Maybe the local midwife was there, a community midwife, like same as in lots of African villages and so on, even today. And so what does that all mean? That means that Jesus was born not in some shed at the back of a dodgy shebeen or a dodgy hostelry, but that he was born in the main living area of an ordinary home, surrounded by a family. And, you know, so that's my message as we sit on Christmas morning, all in our own homes on Zoom. Because what that means is that Jesus still enters ordinary homes, because he was born in an ordinary home. And that is just the fact that people are saying Christmas is cancelled. It's not cancelled. You know, the incarnation's not cancelled. And Jesus was born in, and then the shepherds, there's a wee development of that. The shepherds, you know, the way it says that, you know, and this shall be a sign for you. You'll see him wrapped in cloth and lying in the manger. Well, I always assumed that was about, they were saying to the shepherds, you know what, this baby's born, but it's a bit strange, the circumstance, you'll be a bit surprised, you know, and that's how you'll know. But actually the sign to them wasn't that. The sign was, he'll be born same way as you were, and same way you had your children. And so in fact, when the shepherds arrived in that room, they would have seen, they would have gazed at a scene very much like the scene when their own children were born. You know, in other words, he's one of you. Yeah. You can go, even you shepherds, you can go and see him. He's your savior. And so again, it's that the message of all Christmases, I think the message for this Christmas, for ordinary people sitting in our homes, we're going to be ordinary people sitting in our homes for the next lot of weeks, however long this goes on for, the next maybe even months. We're sitting in our homes more than we've done ever before. And the message of Christmas is that Jesus was born amongst ordinary people sitting in their living rooms.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Hallelujah.
Lawrence, thank you so much. That's just wonderful sharing there. As we move into some more musical numbers, and I know that you're very busy. We actually reshuffled it because we know that you've got other engagements on as well. Any kind of closing words for the folk in Artfallen who love you so deeply?
Just love to you all and happy Christmas. I really hope, I was so glad to be back there 3 years ago, I think it was, during the year that I was president of the church. So it was great to be there then. And hopefully it's not too long before I'm back in Cork. And it was a conference, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but my visit to the conference turned out to be a bit of a disaster. I ended up twice, 2 day trips, because we had a family bereavement and all kind of stuff. So, but anyway, just love to everybody. Greetings to everybody. Many happy memories of being in Cork. Both of our children. We had Samuel, of course, who was born in Longford and died just a few weeks old before we moved to Cork. But both since that, we've had Hope and we've had Paul. They're both Corkonians. They were both born in Cork, although as they would say, born in Cork and reared in Kerry. So a real ecumenical children. But their Hope is now 17, and in 5th year. Paul will be 15 in February, and he's in second year. So they're and Paul is taller than Hope and taller than Karen, and I think by this time next year will be taller than me. So basically, just love to all of you from all of us here in Dublin, and just remember Jesus was born in the main living area of an ordinary family home, and so wherever home people are in tonight listening to this, that's where Jesus is too.
Lawrence, thank you so much. It's been so good having you on. We wish you every blessing for your Christmas, and as you share that message with the folk in Dublin, and we wish you just God's richest blessing into 2021. Thanks
so much. God bless you all. See you now. Sorry about the problems earlier.
No, not of your doing, Lawrence. And as I put you into the studio now, you're welcome to head on into other work. We've got, it looks like a Jew-shaped Santa Claus, but we're going to bring him on. Should we bring him on here while you're on still, Lawrence? Just for a second.
There you go.
Hello, boy. Are you okay in there? Well, I can see these. Doggy, I can see these very little elves trapped in a machine. Come out. Are you safe in there? Are you okay, folks? Well, my goodness me. Oh. Could you answer me one question, boys and girls? What date is it today? The date.
23rd of December.
No. The 24th of December.
We're going to let you go.
I think that's 24th tomorrow.
Excuse me?
Tomorrow.
Oh. Tomorrow night is Christmas Eve.
Unless you're in Melbourne or something.
I'm afraid Father Christmas has made a bit of a mistake, boys and girls. Oh, dearie me. Whatever will I do? Well, I landed upstairs, and this very handsome, but angry man started shouting at me for breaking his roof. I had to lock him under the stairs, and he is going immediately on the naughty list. I can tell you that much. How about you, boys and girls? Are you on the naughty list, or are you on the nice list? Don't worry. Father Christmas will check it for you. Now, let me see. Who is that little elf? Griff Rolfson, right. Rolfson, naughty, or... Oh! Congratulations! You're on the nice list. I shall see you. Now, this little elf has stolen my hat. My goodness gracious me. I couldn't find my hat, and then I thought, he looked so handsome in his. So, I thought I would wear mine. How about Mary King? Oh, definitely on the nice list. In fact, Miss King, Santa really loves that river song. So he really appreciated that. Made his heart feel good. What about this little elf here? Yes, Robinson. Let me find the Robinsons. No, nice list. Robinsons. Aaron. Mary. That's it, I'm afraid. I don't know what you've done, young man, but I can't find you on the nice list. Shall we sing a song together?
I think we should sing a song together.
Yes, now that I've come all this way and I have a bit of time to kill, it seems. Right. I believe you all know this one. It's called I Am Coming to Town. Right. You'd better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus.
I am coming to town. I'm making a list. I'm checking it twice. I'm going to find out who's naughty or nice.
Santa Claus.
I am coming to town. So, boys and girls, I will see most of you tomorrow night. Well, 2 of you anyway. How about you people at home? Daryl, nice list. Excellent. Lucy Bateman, nice list. Brian Callan, nice. George Holland, nice list. Oh, I'm going to be very tired going around the chimneys of Cork City tomorrow evening. I'd better stock up and have something to eat. Have I lost weight, boys and girls? I think I've got a little bit slim. I'd better put that right. How are you all?
You know,
Is it warm?
I think
It's warm in this house.
we've got a message from Heidi Hogan. I think she's just trying to get on the nice list. I'm not sure that's a sincere thought there. I think she's just trying to.
I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe that Heidi has been a very good girl for a very long time.
Okay. Just to remind us all, it's at 5 to 8, and we've played about 2 songs on Soul Sessions, which kind of suggests how far we've been derailed. Sorry, Sansa, I don't want to burst in on your party here, but we are going to ask for one more song each from Santa. Santa, are you okay in leading us in music as well?
Well, let me see. Oh, excuse me.
well,
Bear
Santa,
with me. Come back to me. Come back to me, young man.
Okay. We've got enough time for 2 more songs. Mary and Griff, this is your parting number on Soul Sessions, maybe forever. What is your?
We think Griff is yawning. I think someone requested "Oh Holy Night."
Yes, that was right. It's actually Brian who requested. He came up with the chorus, and I quickly put it on the private chat, and Drew said, "No, that's Oh Holy Night." So are you going to play "Oh Holy Night" for us?
Yeah, we'll do that. Amy did a beautiful job of this on the drive-in Carol service. We'll restream it for church tomorrow night too, but I'll give it a go.
Okay, you're going to give it a go. I'm going to take you off for just a second, and myself as well. Give it a good tonk, guys.
Can you pull it so I can see too, though, so I can sing with you?
Will it go dark though?
Just periodically start it.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night, oh, night, oh, night, oh, holy night.
Gee, what a send-off that is. Mary Griff, thank you so much. A beautiful rendition of, I think, a lot of people's favorite hymns for the time of year. In fact, I think Brian was saying that it was voted. I didn't watch that show. Brian, maybe I'm going to put it up there. I think it was a song of praise, favorite carol, or something like that. But while that's happening, we're going to go back. I'm a bit frightened to welcome Santa back into the studio. I actually think I'm going to hold him hostage until he indicates that I've been returned to the good list. As soon as there's
Don't mess with Santa.
Yeah.
Guarantee can't be bribed.
Now, if you've been a good boy or girl, then you have nothing to fear from Santa Claus.
Okay, well we can't wait. What song is Santa going to be playing with Santa's accent, by the way? I can't wait to hear the song with the accent.
Well, Santa Claus is a man of all nations, as you know.
Feliz Navidad.
Sometimes he's from Montenotte, and other times he varies around the countryside. But, boys and girls, I'd like to leave you by wishing you a very happy Christmas. And I hope you all get what you deserve. Well, sorry, no, what you want for Christmas. And it's wonderful being with you all. And next time, I'll make sure that I'm on time and not 24 hours too soon. So hopefully I won't see any of you boys and girls, and you'll be wrapped up tight when I come visiting to you tomorrow evening. So, please join in at home. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings to you wherever you are. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Wasn't that fun, boys and girls?
Well done, Santa Claus. That was absolutely fantastic. We've got 8 o'clock. Can we do Joy to the World as our closing song? Can we do that? We have, unfortunately, there are going to be requests. There were requests that came through. One for come and join the celebration. I think Luce and the Batemans put that through. Unfortunately,
well, I only work 1 day a week now, young man. So maybe next year.
Okay. Okay. Well, hang on for next year. But Santa Claus, we would appreciate if you'd sing along with Joy to the World here. Or just not too loudly in case the stream isn't quite working.
I will do my best.
Okay. And there are 3 beautiful verses to Joy to the World, and we're going to repeat the sounding joy on this one. Mary, Griff, are you guys happy to lead us with this?
Yep. Should we do 3 verses? 4 verses?
We'll do 3.
I think there are only 3.
There's 4 in this hymnal. It's Lutheran.
Trust the Lutherans to look at a perfect hymn and think, you know what? This could do with more words.
Yeah, He rules the world maybe is added. No more.
That's
I don't know. Yeah.
Is Joy to the World the second one is?
Joy to the earth. The Savior reigns.
The third?
Then more let's sin. Then he rules.
I think that third one might be the addition, at least in our hymn book. But anyway, beautiful hymn. Take it away. We'll do all 4.
Just start getting rid.
Santa, would you give us the beat on your tummy there? Would you just do a bit of a... There we go. Yes, keep it going. Build it over the 4 verses.
I'm a frontline worker. I need to keep well fueled up.
Your front line is ready.
The Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let all their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more let sin and sorrow grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings flow, for as the curse is found, for as the curse is found, for as the curse is found. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness.
wonders of His
and wonders
love,
of His
and
love,
wonders
and
of His
wonders
love,
of His
and
wonders,
wonders
of His love.
Fantastic. Mary, Griff, thank you so much. I don't know, Santa Claus ran off stage there. I think.
Marianne,
Oh my gosh!
you're free.
You will not believe what just happened. This man broke into the roof. He's run now. I got rid of him. You won't be seeing him again.
What was that glove that you had on there, Drew?
Yeah. You had a single glove on there, Drew. While you were locked in the basement, were you doing mime as well? Were you?
Let me out!
Guys, that was absolutely fantastic. Mary, Griff, Drew, what a treat Soul Sessions has been. I've thoroughly enjoyed Wednesday evenings, and we can't wait to see what Santa comes up with next year.
I'd imagine only if you're good. But I wouldn't know.
Any closing words, Mary, Griff?
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas,
everybody.
yeah.
Have a wonderful time. We'll see you tomorrow night.
And Drew on Christmas Day. God bless you. Everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye for now.
God bless.
Bye, Drew. Bye, Andrew.
Bye, guys.